So in that first game, you said, Mark, they went. Palomar won 6-1.
So we'll set the defense for you again. Corey will do that in a second for Palomar.
And Palomar went 1-2-3 in their opening half. Emily Rush in the circle gets the start.
And Emily strikes out her first time up. So, Corey, go ahead and set the defense once again for Palomar.
In the circle, Farrah Stephanie, her 12th start, 18th appearance, 10-1 on the season with a 1.30 earned run average. Behind the plate is Eliza Haas. At first is Hannah Beyer. Second is Malachi Russell Millen. At shortstop, Samara Martinez. And third base, Allison Amato. As Jordan Thompson takes the first ball low. In the outfield, right to left, is Taylor Harrison. Herman in center field, Katie Herman in center field, and left field will be Alexia Terrazas. Sorry, Mark, Terrazas.
So Thompson. 1-1 count, 1 out. Game number 2. Cypress looking to just sort of even things up here. That's off the play.
Way to lay off by Thompson. Good eye. Herman for Palomar in that top of the half of the first. Grounded to third. Martinez grounded to third. And Amato grounded to first for a 1-2-3 inning for Emily Rush.
Little slap shot taken over it short. Nice little throw there by Martinez. Gloves it well and makes the play. 2 up, 2 down.
Now batting number 5, Eliza Sandoval.
So Sandoval, who started the first game in the circle, and so she's normally, if she's in the circle, Rush is at third. When Rush is in the circle, she's at third. So she is the third base person for Cypress in this game.
In the first game, she grounded out 3 times, twice to second and once to short. As the wind died down just a little bit.
Yeah, nice day today. Not too warm.
Yeah, I'm glad I wasn't out here with you guys the other day.
101 degrees when the game started. And it just kept going up, baby.
You know when it cooled down, actually?
Yeah, about 8 o'clock at night.
There you go. Well, actually, I was going to say the minute you guys left the field.
Like I said, 8 o'clock at night.
And Albert said, yep.
Pitch called in the inside corner. 2-1 the count.
Umpires for today's double dip. Now behind the plate is John Biggs. And now in the field is J.D. McGuire.
Down in the dirt. 3-1's the count. Sandoval looking to start things off. Paige Schaefer on deck. First base person for Cypress. Three-one pitch. Fouled away. 3-2.
Good action on the screwball, Mark. As it came inside, it started off down the heart of the plate, and then that action with the spin breaks inside.
And you actually do with a screwball, if you're a right-hander, instead of rolling your wrist over, you roll your wrist outward to have a breakaway from a right-handed hitter. Throws a screwball and then comes with a rise pitch on the outside part of the plate. You were going to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say that was more of a screwball with the, well, it was a rise, but it had a little screw likeness to it on the outside.
3-2 count, 2 outs. Just starting the second game here on SportsNetUSA.net. Down the middle, straight there on a line drive to Martinez. So just like Palomar, 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. As we head for the top of the second, It's Palomar 0, Cypress 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Ed Ford, Albert Robles, Corey Neyland, and
The
Brad
man.
Pickler. Plates have gotten bigger, Brad. Yeah, you know. It's big enough to put a cake on that Corey Neyland would eat.
We had a good umpire against Santa Ana. Totally different game. We called balls, strikes.
Yeah.
How frustrating is that for your players? How frustrating is it for your players to get used to?
What are you going to do? You know, it should be, hey, if it's in the river, it's ball. You know, I just say that.
Brad Pickler talking about his dinner plate. He's got a big plate, but doesn't have a lot of food on it. That's his problem.
Home plate is my dinner plate when it should be your dinner plate.
You know,
You should be fruits and veggies. It's got a whole lot of fried meat on mine.
Your home plate dinner plate is where, you know, it's got the little trim on the outside. You think that's part of the plate. Corey's scraping it, trying to get something extra to eat.
Hey, gristle counts, Mark.
Rush. Off-speed pitch for a ball. So Harrison up. Playing right field today. Off the plate. 2-0. Taylor Harrison.
Sack fly, reached on an error, line to short. Leads the team in RBI with 31.
Off her foot, so it's a foul ball. Sandoval fields it over at third. So far, Sandoval's been the most active defensive player in this second game. Wind blowing straight in, at least that's what the flags are telling me. Off speed by Rush. So a little dancing of the softball from the circle for Palomar, a little straightforward from the circle for Cypress. The inside jam, Sandoval takes that out of the air for the first out. That'll bring up Kelly Nutter.
Now batting number 12, Kelly Nutter.
Nutter's the designated player today for Palomar. Played first base first time around. Palomar dressed all in black, red stockings, red t-shirts underneath, and red baseball shoes, or softball shoes, or athletic shoes. Nutter takes that for a strike. And then if Corey Neyland was out there, he'd do like the young ladies, add a little ribbon, to add a little more color to the outfit.
You got to coordinate. Both teams coordinating well.
Off speed, Huerta says thank you for the easy pop-up, and she takes it herself for the second out.
Rush comes in focused. Got a rhythm.
Now batting number 10, Alexia Terrazas.
So left fielder checks in.
So Terrazas
Went 0 for 3.
hits that to Huerta. Huerta goes over to first. So an easy second inning for Rush. 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody, absolutely nobody left on base. As we head to the bottom of the second, it's Cypress 0, Palomar 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Corey Neyland, you were talking about some of the other players around the league that maybe you don't hear a lot about here in community college softball right now because we don't get to see the teams play.
Right, you want to start in SoCal or NoCal?
NoCal.
Start out up north. Couple players in the NorCal area, Michaela Ferreira and Cheyenne Washington, both play for.
You said it a couple games ago when you said it was an umpire-induced swing.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah. Just
Well, actually, I want to know what an umpire-induced swing is.
so, in other words, Brad and I were talking, and I said to Brad, I said, umpires make you swing at things. I said, if I'm calling the ball 3 or 4 inches off the plate, the next time you come up there, you're already assuming that that's going to get called a strike the next time up. So if it's 3 or 4 inches off the plate, you're swinging at it, hoping you get a piece of it. The umpires convince you to swing at an outside pitch, not you as the hitter. That's an umpire-induced swing. You didn't know I knew so much, did you? Corey goes, Mark just likes that he gets
Well, you know, when you make stuff up, I mean, yeah, you know everything.
Well, that's true. That's why Brad lives in the same world I live
No,
in.
but I like that.
Paige Schaefer at the plate.
And I also think the really, really good hitters will adjust to that.
Oh, I agree.
Maybe shorten their swing, maybe scoot up in the box or back in the box, maybe
Closer
crowd
to the plate.
Yeah, crowd the play a little bit more. But sometimes when pitchers are efficient in softball, you don't get that opportunity to readjust yourself at the plate.
No, and the thing is, too, depending on, Corey, if you've got a longer bat, a shorter bat, you're a choke-up hitter, and they're giving it to you, the pitcher 2 inches off the plate, you're not going to reach it.
Mm-hmm.
That on the edge. 2-1. To Schaefer. In at the corners for the Comets. Low. So Schaefer. Slight and build. I was just below her knees. On the outside corner. And again, it all depends where umpire lines up. It's their PGA, their pelvic alignment is what it is. And so what they do is where do I line up on home plate? Now, I don't think you should move from left to right depending on if it's a left or right-handed hitter. Paige Schaefer fouls that one off, and you will see umpires do that. They will change the strike zone on a left or right hitter. So that if you're a lefty and I'm a righty and I say, Corey, what are they calling? Well, he's calling it on the inside of my plate. And all of a sudden he starts doing it on my plate. When I'm up there as a righty, that's one big strike zone. 3-2 count to Schaefer. Takes it off the plate, ball 4.
And that's one of the things, Cypress, did they have a leadoff runner in all? Yeah, they had a leadoff runner one time in game number 1. Actually, twice. It was Emily Rush who did it twice, but nothing occurred. Nothing happened on that.
And they only walked once and struck out 3 times.
So here with Schaefer, you get a leadoff runner on and drew that walk.
Huerta takes that down for a ball. Was talking to Terry, the head coach at Cypress High School. We talked about the best defensive player on Cypress. He agrees. It's this young lady at second base.
Yeah, she's the rock of the infield.
And she has been hurt for part of the season. He said the healthier she gets, the better she is taking it up.
Yeah,
so you were talking about other players because we got distracted there for a second.
And so I didn't give any offensive stats for the hitters or the defense. Cheyenne Washington and Michaela Ferreira at San Joaquin Delta. Alexis Detweiler may be the player of the year in NoCal for what she's doing leading her team at Butte. San Jose has 3 significant players, Taylor Fowler, Adriana Martinez, and Maddie Ribeiro. Maddie Ribeiro was one player of the week this year. And Lafu Malapei and Sarah Giles at Cal State. What's the team?
Cal State whatever?
No, College of San Mateo.
Oh, okay. Cal State, whatever.
Those two, and they have two players
Pitch to Huerta as a ball.
with earned run averages that you'll like. And we're going to get to those key players, the pitchers up north who really have a chance to be pitchers of the year.
You know, I mean, when we're doing community college softball, it's about the student athletes, Corey. Right down the middle for a strike. You know, I actually had the Orange Coast College baseball coaches, Albert Cataya, turned around and laughed at me when I said the term student athlete. Yeah, it's like, come on, guys. We love our student athletes. 2-1 to Huerta. Drops a bunt. It's going to be foul.
As we go in mentioning these student athletes and players and teams of the year and awards, go ahead and you can tweet. I finally found my Twitter handle at CNEYLA11. Go ahead and tweet and see what you think. Tell us who the best players are this season in California Community College softball.
2-2 count to Huerta on the outside. Schaefer was going. Brad's got things with, maybe change things up just a little.
Get out on the base paths. Got a player who has 5 stolen bases on the season. And Mark, we're not even going to limit you to California. You can go to Arizona, go cross country and mention who the best players in community college softball are.
You can.
You can mention me at CNayla11.
Huerta pops it up behind us.
You can also go to sportsnetusa.net. Shoot us an email. It can be a one-word answer. It can be a diatribe on who the best is.
2-2 count. Fouled away. Great at bat for Huerta.
This will be a pitch number 8.
Working things out here as a hitter. You've got to appreciate that as a hitter that makes the pitcher work. Throw everything at me. High, back. Schaefer's going to go all the way to second on a wild pitch.
And with that wild pitch bringing the count full, it makes it a little bit advantage to Huerta because the pitch from Stephanie is going to have to be somewhere near the plate.
If it's hit to the right part of the infield, we'll see if Schaefer breaks for third. Pulled just foul. Just a hair away. Amato might have been able to stop it, but I don't think she'd have made a play at first.
So you see you get something inside now. You saw that inside pitch. You see she was all over it. Watch this outside pitch, Marcus. She goes the other way like she did in the first game. She gets a single.
Down the middle. For one bouncer. Paige Schaefer goes. She's safe. Nice running by Paige Schaefer. Steps back but doesn't retreat at second base. On the throw, she advances over to third.
And Mark, I'm going to have to disagree with you on that. Lucky running by Paige Schaefer at second base because Martinez came up. She was going one all the way. All she had to do was glance at Paige, but second baseman wasn't there at second, so throw it over to her to try to get her in a rundown. Russell Millen, okay, Mark, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm going to go back and say nice running by Paige Schaefer because I don't think you make a play on her anyway. You still take the runner at first. I like the fact that Paige just said, hey, here I am. I'm not going to – most runners retreat when it's hit to a shortstop.
Isn't that what you're supposed to do?
No, you're supposed to make them really look at you, and maybe your runner will be safe at first base. But now Cypress, here in the bottom of the second, have an opportunity to get on the board. Adamando. Well, a nice fly ball. Shallow infield. There it is. Adamando takes it straight up the middle for the first run of this second game.
Now batting number 44, Nivea Armenta.
And let's see what Nivea can do on the season. 282, that's from the catcher. 349 on base percentage. She's got 6 RBIs, walked 3 times, struck out twice.
Offers, not taken, taken low for a bunt. Corey, the thing that amazes me with Palomar, I understand the wind's blowing, but you look how shallow they are. As a hitter, you just want to hit it towards the outfield. Not hard, because if it gets in the gap, you're running all day long.
Yeah, I can see that. And I think they're thinking more like Cypress is not showing the aptitude to hit power alleys this season. So you have the luxury of playing short and shallow.
1-1 to Armenta. Down in the dirt. 2-1.
Unless it's Emily Rush, who's been consistently doing that this year.
And I'm going to go to her with you in a second, because I got to ask you something because of an earlier statement you made about Emily. Right down the middle, swung over and missed by Armenta. So Stephanie, Farrah Stephanie, with a 2-2 count in the circle. 1 run, 1 hit. Just got a piece of it, and I like the fact that she goes after it just to foul it off, not trying to hit it or pull it.
And you got to be thinking same pitch is coming. Am I going to lay it off this time? Because it's going to be a little bit more to the outside on this one.
2-2, so you can throw it down and away if you want to. 2-2 pitch. Corey Neyland was absolutely right. Are they going to turn 2? They go to second for 1. Back to first, double play. 4-6-3 on that double play. But not before Cypress gets on the board. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. As you head to the top of the third, it's Palomar trailing right now. Cypress 1, Palomar 0 here on sports@usa.net. So watch out, they're making their move.
11 and 21.
They're making their move. Bear up, hits it back over the top, and finds the seeing eye dog that takes it into center field.
And we'll get a couple more scores in for you. Allen Hancock beats L.A.
Now batting
Mission by a
number
score
14,
of 7-3.
Alisa
And
Haas.
Mission has been fading as of late, and Allen Hancock has been rising. Rio Hondo smacks around Taft today 12-1, and that helped solidify Rio Hondo, the Roadrunners' place in RPI. So they're firming up their playoff bid.
So Haas comes to bat with a runner at first.
And Rio Hondo's having a resurgence a little bit this season. We saw him a few years ago at the Hawk Wilder tournament in Glendale, and they were getting back to respectability back then, but it took them a few years to get to this level here.
You mean when Bart talked with Bianca?
Yeah, yeah, had a long conversation.
Haas squares, fouls it off, comes back our direction.
A couple more scores for you. Barstow in the bottom of the 7th is leading Santa Barbara. That game's a final. Barstow 12, Santa Barbara nothing. A 1-hitter from Barstow, the Vikings.
And I know, Mark, you were looking at me like resurgence. Maybe it's just a surgence for Rio Hondo softball.
Yeah, I'd go that direction.
There you go.
Yeah, I'd go that direction. I mean, there's some good programs, but programs that never where you go, wow, where you're located, why aren't you better? Because of the talent?
True, but in the South Coast Conference,
Yeah, there's Mount Sac.
You're gonna get Mount Sac. You're gonna get a lot of players want to go to El Camino, which is having sort of a down year. Cerritos, Long Beach. So Rio Hondo doesn't quite have that same prominence.
Taking down the right field line is foul.
Yeah, they don't have that same cachet because Rio Hondo is in a perfect spot to go elsewhere because they're right off the freeway. It's not that far to drive down to Long Beach. It's not that far to drive to Mount Sac. It's not that far to drive to Cerritos. So they're in a good spot commuting-wise, a bad spot for recruiting softball-wise.
And speaking of Mount Sac, they win today by a score of 7-1 despite committing 3 errors, beating Canyons. 7-3 Mount Sac over Canyons.
Taking the Huerta. Let's see if they turn 2. Go to Adamando. Adamando says, I'll take the 1. Didn't have the ball after that, so doesn't throw it. So you get the force out. 4-6. Haas gets on with a fielder's choice.
Now batting number 11, Katie Herman.
At Nancy Kelly Field in Norwalk, Cerritos College is leading Fullerton College in the bottom of the 6th inning. That's now a 4-3 ball game. Final Porterville shut out Reedley by a score of 11-0. And that is sort of a surprise, and we'll get to that after this pitch. Surprise in the standpoint of Reedley used to just the last 3 to 4 years, Corey, as you remember, Reedley was always in the hunt in the Central Valley Conference, and this is a pretty dismal year for them by their standards.
Yeah, I just kept looking for them to get out of their funk as it was this season, but they just haven't been able to.
Herman comes up, slaps it to Adamando. Adamando over to first for the final out here in the 3rd inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. As we head to bottom of 3, it's Cypress 1, the Comets 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
And we have a second game with Rio Hondo and Antelope Valley. That's 1-1 in the bottom of the 3rd. Bottom of the 1st inning, Diablo Valley up on Modesto 1-0. So Diablo Valley out to prove that we are wrong about them. Bottom of the 2nd inning, Butte 14, Lassen College 0. That game is at Butte. Monterey Peninsula, Hartnell, no score. Santa Rosa, Sierra, no score. Those games are underway, but we don't have live stats up that way. Bottom of the 2nd inning, Barstow and Santa Barbara all tied up at 3 apiece. Top of the 1st inning, no score with Mount Sac and Canyons. That game is at Canyons. Folsom Lake and San Joaquin Delta later on tonight at San Joaquin Delta's place. I guess they have lights. And San Jose, Fresno City, no score. That game starts.
Now batting number 11, Sophie Little.
So that's your scoreboard for right now.
They either have lights or a lot of camping lanterns. You know, every parent brings a lantern and holds it up during the game.
Or it's like what you used to do in the 80s. You just drive out there to the parking lot and everybody has their cars. Light them up.
Light them up. Sophie Little comes to the plate.
She had a good first game, Mark, at the plate. She went 2 for 2, 2 singles, RBI, stolen base.
Palomar crash at the corners on Little defensively. And she hits it just enough to get a base hit. Nice hitting by Little. Didn't try to overdo it, Corey. Just got the bat on it
20,
and
Cameron
dropped it into
Hill.
right field.
Yeah, I remember being out here talking to when we were out with Brad. How do you get more players involved in this game for the remaining season into the lineup in Little? This is the first time I've been out here to watch her play, and she's paying dividends.
Cameron Carell now comes up.
And plus it gives you more speed at the bottom of the lineup. So if Little gets on, Curiel, Buntarova, you have power hitting and all world hitting Emily Rush. And what do you want to say about Emily once she comes up?
Well, and it's going to be all on you because you talked about her possibly being player of the year.
Oh, yeah, in the OEC, yeah.
Fouled off. So where do you stack her up as player in the CCCAA?
You beat me to it. I was going to get there, but that's okay.
Oh, okay.
No, in the OEC, she's got to be either one or two players of the year in the OEC, because what she does offensively carrying this team and what she does in the circle, that well-roundedness gives her maybe the edge.
Great drop. Nobody over at first base. She's safe. Oh, Ed Ford, please watch that and tell me.
Oh, I think somebody needs to appeal that.
I don't think we have that replay. So.
That's okay. She was safe, but they're going to call her out.
Wow.
So 5-4 on the putout. As Malachi Russell Millen did a nice job of getting over to first base, stepping onto the bag, the side of the bag, creating the out. Curiel thought she negated all of that by stepping on the bag before the ball was even there.
Now batting, number 18, Emily Rush.
But she moves a runner. And Emily Rush, yeah, Mark, player of the year in the OEC, I'd give it to her. Now, as far as, and here's the thing, as far as SoCal, we mentioned Brianna Goris at Mount Sac. What a wonderful hitter she was. She's batting, 575. And this is as of Wednesday, 575. 640, 1.232 slugging.
Oh, that dropped.
Okay, so that dropped 11. That's as of Wednesday.
Yeah.
So 11 home runs, tied for first in the state. 35 RBI, 17 doubles, second in the state. 3 triples, 47 hits, whatever. But then you look at Emily Rush. And her season, well, not bad. 451, 533, 961. Tied for home runs in state. 44 RBI, which is more. 18 doubles after today. 14 walks. Actually 15 after today. And only struck out twice. And has one less hit. That's as of Wednesday.
Emily takes the first one for a ball. So who you voting for? That one's down. Oh, late delayed strike call.
Not to upset anyone, but to upset everyone. I picked somebody else so I wouldn't have to choose.
Oh, okay. All right. 1-1's the count. 2-1's the count. Because you ended up talking about the young lady that we did see play and said, oh, she's a professional hitter.
Oh, definitely she's a professional hitter, Mark.
2-1 count. Take it into the hole. Can't make a play on it. Brad's going to send a runner home. Here comes the play. The runner will score, and Emily Rush goes in to second base. Good call by Brad Pickler on Little.
Now batting, number 15, Jordan Thompson.
And Mark, Emily Rush, professional hitter.
I guess Emily heard you talking about her and said, Corey, let me help you with the vote.
And because of what she does in the circle, you may have to give her the edge as player of the year.
Thompson comes up. So Cypress, with Brad Pickler being a little more daring on the run, forcing them to get the runner at home. Not a good throw from the outfield to make a play on that. 1-1's the count on Thompson.
And of course, Samantha Villanueva at Santiago Canyon might have something to say about that for player of the year and OEC. Allison Amato here, third base at Palomar.
Straight up the middle. Emily's going to turn. Here comes the play. Emily stops and goes back and runs into Brad Pickler. Emily wanted to score, Corey Neyland. Right, Albert? Albert just nodded to me. Yeah, she was going home, and Brad Pickler stopped her and then stepped in front of her. And then Emily had to go back.
Well, she should have scored. That's one where you say, I'm sorry, coach, and let me come
Run
back
you over?
after I score and help you up off the ground.
There you go.
And a good hit by Thompson. It's a single, should have been an RBI single. There's only one out here in the bottom of the third inning. Cypress has found their bats.
3 hits so far in this inning.
Lacey Kraft talking to home plate umpire, talking about running lanes.
Now batting number 5, Eliza Sandoval.
And the first time in 2 games that Cypress has scored 2 runs.
So Sandoval.
Last game they won.
The last game?
Last game they scored 1 run, and against Santiago they only scored 1 run. So kind of climbing out of that slump.
Well, here's the thing, too, Ed. I think Brad Pickler is a good third base coach. Every once in a while, Brad gets conservative for me at third base.
Well, here's where your conservativeness ends. Kaylin Lopez coming in running for Emily Rush because with only 1 out and Sandoval up to bat, you're thinking,
should I give him the sign?
I let Sandoval hit away. Try to lift something deep into the outfield or even shallow field. That's why you bring in Lopez to pinch run.
Right away. I need that third run. So I'm going to get creative. Either I'm starting the runner at first, breaking the runner at third, right down the middle. 2 runs, 4 hits for Cypress after 3 innings.
Mark, if you get that hitter's count, you definitely run.
A little high. 2-1.
Didn't we have a game earlier this season, Orange Coast and maybe Riverside, where, you know, Orange Coast has a runner at third, runner at first, they do a double steal, and they throw it to second.
Straight up the middle. It's going to be a base hit. So run number 2 comes in with another hit.
Now batting number 12, Paige Schaefer.
Schaefer walked her first time at bat, scored a run. So you let Sandoval hit away, and she comes up big with her 19th RBI of the season.
Paige Schaefer comes up. Infield in again. Byer at first. Amato deep at third. Has to play the runner at second. So you cheat your shortstop over. Little dropper. Can they go? They've only got to go to first. That's the only play they do to get Paige Schaefer.
Russell Millen to Byer, and that's one of the good things about having Paige Schaefer at bat for you, Mark.
14,
She
Alyssa
knows how to
Horta.
handle the stick well. She knows how to use that bat, and she needs to get the runner to third base. So she chops it to the right side without sacrificing a bunt. And with her speed, chopping it, she gets that extra bounce. She's safe at first.
She advances the runners. So another base hit would score 1, possibly 2 for Cypress. Up 3-0. Berta flinches, lets it go, and it's on the corner for a strike.
I flinched on that one. That was a beautiful pitch by Stephanie.
Down and away. 2-1. Corey Neyland's hitter count. Two runs, 4 hits this inning for Cypress. on the knee inside, and Huerta swings right over the top. 2-2.
It's like a little Tootsie Roll pitch, Mark. A little dip of the knee on the inside.
Little dribbler. Can they make the play at first? Over. They do. The run doesn't count. But that's okay because Cypress gets 2 more runs in. 2 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. As we head to the top of the 4th, it's Cypress 3, Palomar 0 here on Sportsnet. US.
What's that?
Could you tell on the bunt if she was safe or out?
Oh, well, consensus was she was safe.
Yeah. We thought she was safe. Yeah.
Yeah.
So nice when you're the official scorekeeper, right, of a game.
The thing is, I think we all had her safe by a mile. Not by a mile, but we had her
She
safe.
had her safe. She was safe. She beat the throw.
And Mark, here's pitcher of the year in SoCal area.
Okay, I'm ready.
Santa Ana. Pitcher of the year. Emily Rosas, pitcher of the year in SoCal. She is 25-5. 0.99 ERA. With all that, Santa Ana was decent and good coming up last few years. But now they're a playoff team, and it's because of Emily Rosas. That's the pitcher of the year. Plus,
Is that the state pitcher of the year?
definitely SoCal.
Now
Okay.
batting number 3, Samara.
And when it comes to
Martinez.
state, she will be state. She leads the state. Well, she's top 3 in strikeouts as of Wednesday. Only 26 walks.
So you discount the young lady in Imperial Valley because she doesn't pitch enough.
No, she's a very good pitcher,
Emily brings in the first pitch for a strike.
and she's done very well.
Martinez grounded out the third, her first time up. But I'm still waiting for the butt. You
No,
gotta
but
drop.
Emily Rosas is the pitcher of the year.
Next pitch is high. So you discount somebody that averages 14 strikeouts a game, which is what the pitcher from Imperial Valley gets. That's her seven inning average, 14.2.
Tremendous.
No wonder you don't know the difference between a hit and an error.
Tremendous. But no.
Rush does not get the call on the outside part of the plate. 3-1. Emily thought she had that one. It was close. Palomar trailing by 3 in the top of 4. Off speed. Adamondo. Down, gets it. 1 up, 1 down.
Now batting number 24, Allison Amato.
In the bottom of the 6th inning, Cerritos has expanded their lead to 7-3 over Fullerton. Solano, due to my bad eyesight, I thought they were leading San Jose 3-0, but that's a 9 that San Jose has, so it's 9-3, top of the 5th, San Jose. And Rio Hondo and Antelope Valley, ABC, all tied up at 2 apiece.
Motto comes to the plate. Grounded out to Paige Schaefer her first time up. Takes the first pitch for a strike. Okay, because I'm not going to let you off that easy. I really need to have you explain to me why somebody who's averaging almost 15 strikeouts a game and has a winning record and an ERA as low as her is not considered the best pitcher in the state.
I didn't say she wasn't the best pitcher in the state.
Shot to right field. First a base hit, second base hit of the game for Palomar.
I said she's not going to win the pitcher of the year. And yeah, I'll use your argument. What's their record?
Number 9, Taylor Harrison.
What's her record?
Yeah, Imperial Valley. What's their record? They played 22 games.
They've got a winning season.
Yeah, they do have a winning season. So does Santa Ana.
Throw to second. Runner makes it easily on a stolen base.
25-5 is their record. And that's why. So we'll go.
So is the pitcher from Santa Ana got 25 wins?
Yes, they do.
No, the pitcher.
Yeah.
Okay.
Emily Rose has 25 wins. Imperial Valley is 7-5 in the PCAC. This is second place. That's good. 13-7 is their record.
So she's got 13 wins as the pitcher for their team.
She's got 11 wins for the pitcher of the team.
Hit in the left field. So here comes Palomar.
And you know, Corey Wall at Butte, her ERA is 0.58.
Now batting number 12, Kelly
It's not that far
Nutter.
behind 0.54. Now she doesn't have the strikeouts, but she's still winning.
Runners at the corner. One out. Back-to-back hits. Cypress up by 3. Runner goes. No throw to second base.
So Wall, as of Wednesday, was 14-1, 0.61 ERA, 103 innings pitched with 103 strikeouts. I'd rather go 25-5 with 208 strikeouts and 176 innings pitched, which is tops in the state.
Kelly Nutter up at the plate. 2 runners in scoring position. Nutter fouls it off. 0-2's the count. Rush looking for that strikeout. Schaefer at first. Huerta at second. Adamando at short. Sandoval at third. Thompson in left. And of course, the big person, Armenta behind the plate if there's a throw. Off speed. Huerta, she'll get it. She'll give up a run, take the out. So Palomar gets on the board.
Now batting number 10, Alexia Terrazas.
So Terrazas comes up. Runner at third, 2 outs. Brad moving the defense around, bringing in his outfield. Brings in everybody shallow. Terrazas steps out. Rush looks over the dugout. 1 run, 3 hits for Palomar. 3 runs, 5 hits for Cypress in this game. No errors so far. Emily says, here you go, hit it. Thompson says, I got it. And she gets out of the inning. 1 run on 2 hits and 1 left on base as we head to bottom of 4. It's Cypress College 3, Palomar College 1 here on Sportsnet USA.net.
Well, as Corey and
Adamando comes up. Got an RBI with a single in the second inning. Takes that one down. 2-0's the count.
So Mark, by the way, 11-3, 103 innings pitched, 214 strikeouts, 0.54 earned run average. Or 25-4.
Next one down the middle.
Or 13-2, 0.71 earned run average, 98 innings pitched, 114 Ks, 8.4.
Well, you know, I'll take either one just because of the ERA.
You got to choose one.
Next pitch off the plate.
I would pick Roses personally because of the competition that she has faced. She's faced the Mount Sacks, the Cypresses, the Cerritos,
And beat them.
Santiago, and all those teams.
Good at bat by Adamando. She ignores the banter in the booth.
I'm not disagreeing with it. She should have lost to Cerritos.
But didn't.
Cody will tell you that.
Should have. I should be, like we said this week, 180 pounds, but I'm not.
No, we already discussed how big your home plate is. Brad even came on over and said, you know, your strike zone is so large.
Yes, I should be 180.
Your
but
batting,
I'm not,
your
but I'm
batting
not.
average?
You know, if you just gave up donuts, it would be that simple.
Yeah.
So Armenta is going to be pinch hit for Sarah Crespo as Sarah Crespo comes in.
Now batting number 1, Sarah Crespo.
I think you guys have made good arguments for both pitchers. The thing is, why Rosas, I believe, will get the award, and I think that's what Corey is getting at, that she's just in a higher profile program, and people don't really think about Imperial Valley. Remember, they had a great year.
Crespo drops down a bunt, turn, throw to first. Nice sacrifice by Crespo.
I think it was 2018 where they had won in the high 20s. I know they at least had 20
Now
wins,
batting
but
number
I think it was in
11,
the high
Sophie
20s.
Little.
And they weren't even considered for regional spot.
Yeah.
And the next year, kind of like the Feather River, oh, sorry, we ripped you off the year before, so we're going to put you in this year, and then they got a berth the next year.
That Feather River was like, oh, wait, Feather River actually played games this year. That was 2017, right?
Yeah, 2017 was when they, I think it was technically a tie, but with the tiebreaker, they were the conference winner.
Sophie Little at bat for Cypress. Takes the first 2 pitches as a ball and a strike.
Well, Feather River won't have to worry about that this year. They should be in solidly in the playoffs in Northern California.
Byer tight at first. Motto tight at third. Martinez moving over at short. That's off the plate. 2-1's the count.
Guys, look at this. Look at the swag that Little walks up to the plate with. She singled and scored a run in her first at bat, or first inning, or actually
Her first at bat.
Yeah, her first at bat. She had 2 hits in the first game. She's getting playing time. Just the confidence is exuding out of the lefty.
Up over the middle, see if they can make the play. The play over at first in time, and really a great range there by Russell Millen at second base for Palomar.
Now batting number 20,
Corey, that's what you have to
Cameron
do,
Grill.
both as a coach and a player. When you get that chance to get in there, you have to produce, and that keeps you in the lineup. Also, from a coaching standpoint, at some point you get into the playoffs, you may need that player, and if they're cold on the bench and they've never been in a game for you, then what's the point? I know that, years ago, Mark and I saw a Division I team that had a lot of players on the bench that just sat on the bench. It made no sense to me. Why did you even have them come out? Why
Right.
did you draft them?
Next pitch. Down and away, 2-0. Now this is when you get to show how good of a bunter you are. You got people crashing at the corner. You got a runner at third base. If you drop it, it's a foot race for first to get another run. In tight, ball 3. Brad Pickler saying, Mr. Pavlovich saying, just drop that perfect bunt. Just outside the circle on the second base side.
Stacy Skinner used to be able to on something like that as a left-handed batter in the box, and this is where you can get out of the box a little bit back in the old days.
Back in the old days where you could cheat.
But any inside pitch in a defensive position like this, she'd run and she'd be able to spike the ball. And she'd get a single every single time because she'd bounce it over the first base person's head. Every single time, being able to. That's how adept she was at the plate with the bat to get those pitch and hand-eye coordination a single.
You mean like in the old days at either Three Rivers Stadium or Riverfront Stadium or Bush Stadium, those cookie cutter National League parks where you could just slam the ball down into the AstroTurf, which was about the softness of concrete.
Exactly.
Okay, asphalt. And the ball would bounce like 30 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Well,
Exactly. DeVette Williams used to do that as well over at Walnut High School back in the day, and she did it from the right side of the plate.
Yeah, but you're not bringing up the fact that front foot was out of the batter's box too when they made contact, and they didn't used to call that in the old days.
It wasn't illegal. It was good. I mean,
What do you mean it wasn't illegal?
Was it illegal?
Yes, you hit the ball out of the batter's box. You're out.
Did they call her out?
No.
All good, baby. All good.
Wow.
Sure about that because they
Yeah,
instituted the rule.
Yeah, they instituted the rule after the fact.
Because you're out.
Just remember, Corey Neyland, I want you to argue that with IRS and say, you instituted the rule, and they're going to look at you and say, yeah, do you like pads on the wall of your cell, or... So Emily Rush is getting treated with a great deal of respect with the runners at the corners, and they intentionally walk Emily Rush to get the bases loaded.
Let me put it this way. Would you have pitched to her?
Jordan
No.
Thompson.
There you go. Now, here's the thing. Jordan Thompson has not had a bad day. She singled her last time at bat,
Had a
grounded to
ribby.
short. Also had 2 hits in the first game, going 2 for 4. Now,
Takes it. Go ahead.
I was going to say Thompson is that player, Mark, that you have to worry about getting into the gaps because she's that good of a hitter.
Bases loaded, 2 outs, 3-1 Cypress, bottom of 4 on the corner for a strike. Thompson looking for her pitch just for a single. In the middle, flip to second should get the lead runner, and it does.
So, guys, we're talking about – oh, go ahead, Mark.
I was going to say, 1 run. Oh, no. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 3 left on base. As we head for top of 5, it's Cypress 3, Palomar 1 here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
And let's go back to the scoreboard. Well, I think the roof fell in on the Fullerton College Hornets as Cerritos came up big in the bottom of the 8th inning. They gave the Hornets 1 in the top of the, well, this is actually a 6-inning score. Fullerton scored 1 in the 6th, then Cerritos and Cody rolls an 8 Ocho and drops them. So Cerritos keeps rolling. They are playing just fantastic softball, and they win that game 12-3. Run rule. Porterville over Reilly, 11-0. We gave you that one. Still San Jose 9, Solano 3. Rio Hondo and ABC all tied up at 2 apiece. Diablo Valley proving us wrong ahead of Modesto 4-3. That's in the top of the 3rd inning. We know the score here. LA Mission bouncing back on Allen Hancock after dropping the first game. Mission leads 10-4. Butte has a score of 18-0 in the bottom of the 4th inning. And, some of us do believe in the run rule, and
Yes.
I would just call it
Number
after
5.
4 innings. It's a long
Miller.
bus ride back to Butte. Barstow 6-3 over Santa Barbara, and those are the only scores we have. Top of the 3rd, no score between Mount Sac and Canyons.
Huerta has it off her knee, flips over to first, and throws it away. So that's going to go down as an error.
She had time after she dropped it, but rushed that throw as Bayer comes up.
So you're both agreeing it's a...
That's an error. That's got to be an error.
Okay. Just making
Now
sure.
batting number 6, Hannah Bayer.
You know,
So Bear comes up.
on base percentage argument.
Russell Millen gets on in the air. So Huerta has it hit her knee, then rushes her throw.
Yeah, and I've always been confused. On base percentage, does that count towards on base percentage as an error?
Yes, yeah. Nice bunt. Emily Rush takes care of that.
And that seems wrong to me. Everybody gets an error then.
Well, it's
Now
like
batting number
Albert and I were
14,
talking about it
Lisa
for
Hodge.
baseball, that you get, if you get walked in, you get an RBI and your on base percentage goes up, but your batting average doesn't because it's not counted as a time at bat.
See, it's rigged against batting average, so that's why I got to support it.
This is what happens when you let Corey Neyland out for an entire afternoon.
This is why I'm only here on Saturdays.
Corey Neyland's going, excuse me, but let me explain my philosophy, and everybody's going, that's okay. That's
Yeah,
okay.
you guys can't handle too much nonsense.
I tell you. Haas tries to drop a bunt. Misses, takes that first strike.
And that's Emily Rush on the drop ball mark. It was a perfect pitch to lay down a bunt. Then the bottom fell out right as it hit home plate.
Oh, 2 count to Haas. Fly ball, center field, shallow center field. Wynn's got it. Cameron comes in quickly as she grabs it. Once again, speedy little center fielder with a great deal of hands out there.
Now batting number 11, Katie Herman.
So Herman comes up, grounded out the third, grounded out the short. Huge 5th inning. If you're Cypress, up by 2, you don't want to give up a run here.
And Herman, mark at the plate, she bats .370. So you know she's good at the plate. With 2 outs and a confident team, she might want to say, I'm going to pull anything, even if it's to the outside for where they're playing me.
Well, here's the thing that's interesting, too. A lot of people don't know. You're throwing the ball no matter how hard you're throwing it. Is the wind, because it is blowing from right to left, moving the softball on the hitters?
It could. Yeah, the wind is blowing that much right now. So the outside comes a little bit off the plate. So that outside corner is off the plate. And that pitch you're trying to pull, instead of going,
Slap shot foul.
and see, instead of going left side, you're going to get foul with that wind blowing that way. That's why just try to pull it and not mean lift it in the air. Just try to get the level of swing you can and over-exaggerate it, because if you pull an outside pitch where Rush is pitching, that'll go up the middle, and that's a solid base hit.
1-2 pitch. Floater high for a ball.
Nice thought process by Rush.
2-2, 2 outs. 2-run lead. Palomar wins the first one. Cypress trying to even it up with 1-1 if they can win this second one. Slap shot right there. Sandoval gets it.
And I can't imagine a better way to spend a Saturday afternoon watching softball.
No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 left on base as we head for bottom of 5. Well, it's Cypress 3, Palomar 1 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Corey Neyland and I, later on the year, we're going to pick what we think might be the most prolific high school softball players that have played the game of softball through the history. And if you want to do that with us, You can't take a softball player and say, oh, they did so well at UCLA.
No,
oh, they did so. It's high school.
And are we limiting it to California?
No. No. If you want to go outside the state,
I don't.
you know,
I'm gonna go on West Coast bias like a lot of those big time stations do on the East Coast, and the South bias. I'm staying West Coast.
you know, because most of the girls we watch are at the community college level. They come right out of high school here on sports8usa.net. We see at the community college level, unless a D1 school grabs them. Big thing I got to have a coaches say to me is, why? Ed Ford brought it up today with Brad Pickler. Why do D1 schools not take more community college softball players?
And that'll be interesting on what happens in the player Ed mentioned just an inning ago. Where will she go play in the state of Arizona?
So Cypress up by 2. Sandoval, who catches that line drive, keeps Cypress in control in this game. And it was interesting. I got told, well, they go to Hope, and they go to Vanguard, and they go to smaller schools like that, the community college players.
Yeah. And Concordia actually is the top 10 team in the nation.
Sandoval deep in the hole, out at first. Nice play by Martinez over at short for Palomar, who ranged deep into the hole and flashed a little arm on the throw.
Concordia out of Irvine, Mark. You talk about NAIA schools who used to be in NAIA. They're now Division II, and they're in the top 10. Cal State San Marcos is another one of those teams. You can actually call them local.
Paige Schaefer comes up.
We always like to go back to winners. When you have players from Palomar, when you have players from Cypress, you're recruiting winners. And every team needs winners.
One taken on the edge for a strike. 1-1's the count.
Good example. Okazaki and Wise, assistant coaches for Cypress. 48-0 in that 2017 season. Winners. And they go on to the next level, play well. Then they come back, impart their knowledge.
Little pop foul.
And you look at the coaches from Palomar, assistants. Kaylee Pugh, the hitting coach, 2-time All-American at Palomar. Oklahoma City University NAIA school, 2-time national champions, 2-time All-American, NAIA National Player of the Year. There's not much difference in play, and if you get a chance to play, you might prove somebody wrong.
Schaefer swings through that one. Ball's dropped. Throw to first. Gets her there for a strikeout. 2 up, 2 down here in the 5th.
That's the first strikeout for Stephanie.
14,
Yeah, I find it mind-boggling that more of these girls. Of course, I know you and I used to watch them in high school. We'd go watch College World Series. But you would always say to me, hey, don't you remember she played at a community college?
Yeah.
And that's a rarity when we've seen that, which I don't understand.
Yeah, Michelle Dodona is a good example. She went to Cal Poly after she went to Mount Sac.
Well, your cousin played community college softball.
Tara Midget played at Mount Sac with Michelle Dodona. Then she goes to Hampton.
Huerta at the plate. Takes that as a ball, where she still holds records at Hampton.
Yeah, in 2 years. I mean, it took 4 years for the other players to break some of those records, but she still holds a few. Good example is Jenny Fredrickson, not community college, but on the same team.
Huerta. Over to Amato at third, easy out. 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base, and we quickly crawl into the 6th inning here in game number 2 on Sportsnet, USA.net. Cypress 3, Palomar 1 on Sportsnet, USA.net.
And just remember, we have more community college softball for you next week. It's a Wednesday game as Cerritos College will take on Chaffey, and we've never streamed a game with Chaffey College. I have seen them play, so that'll be an interesting game, a non-conference affair. And then next Friday, we should have Santa Ana here to play Cypress. So and that's going to be a big game because if Cypress beats Santa Ana and Santiago keeps winning, Santiago will end up with the OEC crown because they would have the tiebreaker against Santa Ana. However, they have to throw in this
OEC tournament?
Yes, this OEC tournament. I won't connect any adjectives to it. So yeah, let's have Santiago play Golden West. That's going to be really now. Golden West did beat Santiago this year in a game, and I believe it was the first time they had beaten Golden West since 2000.
Now batting number 3, Samara Martinez.
So, you know my personal opinion on that tournament, it's a waste of time.
As we head for the top of the 6th, Martinez is going to start things off for Palomar, trailing by 2 in game number 2. Martinez hits it to Huerta. Huerta quickly flips over to first. 1 up, 1 down.
And as Fullerton College learned last year, you never give Brad Pickler a second chance.
Absolutely not.
24, Allison Amato.
So Amato comes up. Grounded out to first. Got a base hit. Stole second. Looked like they were going to get more of that inning. Rush just, doesn't she look like she's just walking through the park right now?
Calm. Cool.
She is, yeah. She's just really, she's not pressing at all from the circle for Cypress. Taken there by Sandoval. She drops, she picks it up, she throws, safe, air on Sandoval.
Now, last season, guys, didn't, in the OEC tournament, didn't Rush win that final game for the Chargers?
I believe so.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
yeah, because we were there.
she
Now
pitched
batting
that
number
final
9,
game and
Taylor Harrison.
so.
So a couple errors now for Cypress. Throw to second. Runner should be out. Oh! Nice slide to the backside of the base. Throw looked good. Runner beats.
There's the replay there. And yeah, she was safe. Like you said, slid to the outside, back part of the base. Throw hung just a little bit.
Good throw by Armenta. I thought when she first came up out of her stance, not as flat as she should have thrown it.
Yeah, she came up out of her stance strong, speedy, but the throw had a little bit of arc on it. Too much arc on it.
So Palomar refusing to go away here in the 6th inning. Runner in scoring position, 1 out. Rush brings it home, right down the middle for a strike. Harrison popped up to Sandoval, then got a base hit in the 4th inning. Looking for that hit now just so that Palomar can creep a little closer. Pulls that way foul. Three and two.
That went over the fence.
And I thought of a couple comparisons, Mark, for you during the break about high school players. I wish Scott Beck or Eric Pesolano were here as well.
3-2 off speed, swung on and missed.
That is the first strikeout by Rush. As Brad takes his glove out. So I'll give it to you right now, Mark. We've seen a lot of high school and community college softball and college softball. At the high school level, you've got to pick a catcher. I'll give you two choices. Mary Iacopo from Los Alamitos. Kinsey Hansen, Norco. Who you taking? I'll make an easier question. Was it a Grauer? Was it Amanda Grauer?
Yeah.
Or Megan Farama at the high school level when we watch play?
I'll take Farama.
Okay. I see
It's
you got
actually,
your list
were you
there.
talking about a Hannah Grauer?
Right? Okay, not Amanda. So
yeah, it's
okay.
Hannah Grauer from
Amador
Amador Valley. ERA of 0.08 when she was at Amador Valley. Of course, then there was Erica Romero at Santiago Canyon, 30-5, ERA of 0.79.
Number 12, Kelly Nutter.
I think they still owe us tie-dye T-shirts from Northern California.
They owe us a lot from Northern California. Tie-dye is just the least.
So Nutter comes up, popped out to second, had an RBI on a ground out in the fourth. 2 down, runner at second. Off the plate for a ball.
And Mark, what position did Madison Shipman play?
Shortstop.
What position did Lauren Chamberlain play?
Shortstop.
Who you got?
I'll take Lauren Chamberlain.
Okay.
I loved Madison Shipman, though, defensively. One of the best defensive high school shortstops I ever saw. That one in on the plate. Talk about somebody that could range to the hole. Played for Valencia High School up by Magic Mountain. Donna Lee was her head coach there. Toughest coach to get a lineup from. That one on the inside corner. Look at Donna Lee and you'd say, Coach, can I get a lineup? Yeah. Coach, can I get a lineup? Yeah. Game would start. Coach, can I get a lineup? Successful high school program up there by Magic Mountain. Little number to Adamando over to first in time. So no runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 left on base. As we head to the bottom of the 6th, it's Cypress 3, Palomar 1 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. I don't know, Corey Neyland started talking about people. Maybe Kylie Reed, when you were talking about shortstops, maybe Kylie Reed would be the high school shortstop I would take out of Norco when she played the game. Kylie Reed set the record in the Inland Empire for 210 hits in her career. As a leadoff hitter, she batted .563 with a fielding percentage of .935. That might be my high school shortstop. Might be.
Okay. So as a DH at the community college level, you got Ashlyn Booker, played at Mount Sac, or Emily Olagi, who played.
I love.
Or, and I'm going to throw this in, I'll throw in Emily Rush here from this year's team.
I liked Emily Olagi. I really did. I think that's going to be my DH.
Now batting, number 3, Cameron Arimondo.
So Armando comes up, shortstop for Cypress. They're up by 2. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Brad would love to get one more. Stephanie still in the circle. Throws that on the outside corner. She's given up 3 runs on 5 hits to Cypress. Little pop fly. Martinez waves everybody off and takes that one.
Now batting, number 44, Nivea Armenta.
So Armenta comes up. Grounded out to a 4-6-3 double play. Then on a sacrifice to move the runner. Armando, when she got on with a walk in the 4th. Did you ever see Michelle Granger play when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if you ever did or not. We never really talk about her. Shot over to Martinez. 2 for 2 at shortstop for Palomar.
Am I going to show my age, Mark?
Yeah, you are.
Michelle Granger used to watch all the time, especially during travel ball, because of my cousin.
Sophie Little.
You remember? Okay, here's who I got a chance to watch. Kathy Van Wyck, Pam Newton, Sue Lewis,
Oh, geez.
Michelle Granger, Lisa Fernandez.
Wow. Wow. I mean, that's creme de la creme.
Susie Brasney as well, who we've had on SportsNetUSA.net. That was my range of softball watching.
Wow. I mean, you're talking Hall of Famers, Hall of Famers, Hall of Famers. Oh, and Hall of Famers. NCAA champions, Olympic champions. Little takes that in the dirt.
Speaking of Kathy Van Wyck, she was Lacey Kraft's coach at San Diego State.
Well, that's right. She did coach there, didn't she?
Yeah. Good
Little.
pitch.
Lays off of it. 2-2's the count.
And that's when you know you're a confident hitter right now at the plate, when you lay off that pitch, because that was a strikeout pitch from Stephanie.
2-2 count. 2 outs. Little flare down the left field line. Just drops foul. So, you're a little guy watching all these softball players. Athletically, you're dreaming about what you can do. Are you as impressed with them back in those days as you are now as history has passed and you know how great they were?
Yeah, they were like my idols growing up.
Okay. Swing and a miss. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base as we head for the 7th. Cypress 3, Palomar 1 here on SportsNetUSA.net. I mean, that's interesting you bring that up. Go ahead and continue because I find that real interesting. They were the idols.
How did you miss that one strike? Wasn't that right down the middle?
It was,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. All of a sudden, he's going to go like this when he's been like this?
Yeah, well, you know, he's just been out in the sun too long.
Huh?
He's been out here in the sun too long.
I go to my catcher, I go, where'd it go? Where'd it miss? He goes, it didn't miss. Then tell me it didn't miss, you know?
Brad Pickler comes by for a visit here on SportsNetUSA.net.
Just a couple quick scores, and we can also tell you what the standings are. We gave you that score of Cerritos beating Fullerton College. Those scores still in the bottom of the 4th inning between Mount Sac and Canyons. That game at Canyons. Alan Hancock losing the mission by a score of 11-4. That's in the 5th. Diablo Valley, Modesto. Diablo Valley on top 5-4. Antelope Valley beating Rio Hondo 5-2. San Jose defeats Solano by a score of 19-4. And in a game that isn't over yet.
Now batting,
in
number
the
10,
5th inning,
Alexia
it's,
Terasa.
I think I lost the score, but I think Butte 25, Lassen 0. So maybe we'll get that one over with here soon.
That's a run rule 3rd inning game.
Oh, come on, man.
Oh yeah, they can come back. They can come back.
See? Look at Ed Ford's a positive person. But dropped. Over to Sandoval. Sandoval playing solid. 1 error in the game today, but playing a solid 3rd base for Cypress. So that's going to bring up pinch hitter Schermerhorn comes up for a pinch hit.
Now batting, number 2, Angelique Schermerhorn.
So Schermerhorn up. Takes that off the plate.
And the speedy Schermerhorn, watch her choke up as she maneuvers into the batter's box. She slides that bat down just a little bit so she has a better handle to slap it to the left side.
But with the way they're playing her, doesn't look good.
Takes that for a strike.
From the standpoint of her hitting something to the left side and getting on first base, I don't think that's going to happen with Cypress's defense right here.
2-1 count. Taken there by Rush.
Good plan of attack if you don't have Emily Rush in the circle. Emily Rush plays an outstanding D in the circle. Watch the replay here. As she's up, ready, jump, leaps, and tosses it over. Underhanded.
Batting, number 6, Hannah
It's like
Bayer.
ain't nothing but a layup here.
So Bear comes up, and now Cypress is 1 out away from splitting this doubleheader against Palomar. Nice 3-hitter by Emily Rush, and I like Corey Neyland. You brought it up. She looks so relaxed pitching out there in this second game.
Looking to improve to 16-5 on the season.
Corey Neyland's player of the southern section and maybe player in the state.
Definitely OEC.
Next one fouled away.
I'm not going to commit to the Southern SoCal yet, but she's definitely in the conversation. Top 3.
Two-two pitch. Off the plate. 1-2.
And you ask me that question again tomorrow, that's a definite yes.
Corey going down memory lane, thinking about all the young athletes he admired. Fouled away. Who was the best one you saw in that group?
Lisa Fernandez.
Okay, all right.
You know how I feel about that, Mark. I think she's the best softball player ever.
Well, she is.
Has a park named after her, so
Yeah.
there you go.
Was she as a hard-nosed player in high school as she was in college?
Yeah.
And I mean that with love. Right up the middle, base hit. Used to talk to Lisa all the time at the PGF. Only woman I know that could be really, really kind to you and never smile at you. You'd sit there and you'd go, is she mad at me? I don't
What did I do?
Yeah,
Wait a minute. Weren't you married?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Now batting.
I might have been
number
during some of that PGF. I don't think I was married during all that.
Didn't your ex-wife, wasn't she nice to you and didn't smile? Or maybe she just didn't smile. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Back to the game.
Wow. High fly ball. Center field. Out number 3, and Cypress gets their split. 3 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors for Cypress. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors for Palomar. So the first one goes to Palomar. The second one goes to Cypress here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
These teams we'll see in the playoffs for sure. Both of these teams, and as they split, there's no really differentiation between the two because they split this 2 games. In the playoffs, you'll see them again.
So we'll see what happens when the playoffs come. But before then, don't forget, next week, next Wednesday, we're going to be out with Cody's team at Cerritos College. That game on SportsNetUSA.net. And then we're back here at Cypress on Friday, where the outcome in the OEC could take place as Santa Ana takes on Cypress. All those games on SportsNetUSA.net. For Ed Ford, Albert Robles, Corey Neyland, I'm the old guy. You've been watching Cypress Softball on SportsNetUSA.net.